I've been thinking about doing this sort of thing for a while, but what my actual field of expertise is, if I have one, is figure skating, right? So I've been sharing many sort of more directly figure skating oriented videos with you, with a few exceptions. Now we come into the studio. It's a pretty modest little studio. I mean, I've got this screen on the back just to get away from all distractions. It's not a studio at all, actually. It's a kitchen slash bedroom slash storage facility slash studio. And so I can share some thoughts with you out there about what I was procrastinating about for actually several weeks, I have to admit and confess right off the start. I was procrastinating because I don't think I had the self-confidence to just like, okay, this is my first time in front of the camera and I'm looking at myself speaking instead of looking into the camera, for example, I notice. And so, oh God, now I feel self-conscious. I'm not doing this right. It's my first time. My confidence level is not really up there, but I thought I'd take a stab at it, push the button, set the thing up, get everything connected, and be ready to speak to you about something that I think is an important issue for who? For whom? Well, for everybody who wants to achieve something in life, basically. And tell me if I'm right about this, but the issue is self-confidence. And that's what I would like to get you thinking about through watching this video, because I'm going to share with you many of the thoughts that I've had on the subject. And I did conceive of this idea, I don't remember how, but subsequent to starting to jot down a few points and get my thoughts organized for you, I asked a young skater what her weakness was, just expecting her to maybe say, oh well, you know, I under-rotate a lot of my jumps, or like something specific, or oh, my spins travel, whatever, that's my weakness, or I don't jump very high, or something. But she said her weakness actually turned out to be something more conceptual, which was like, for me, oh wow, okay, a thinking skater. Her weakness, she said, was self-confidence. And self-confidence is important in anything you do. Can I say that and have unanimous agreement? Well, it's a gray area, isn't it? Because self-confidence is not just sort of the type of thing that, oh yes, I decide I want to have self-confidence, so I can, okay, I'm going to be self-confident. It doesn't work that way. There's no switch for self-confidence, for self-esteem. What's kind of synonyms, just to, what am I talking? Am I just throwing out some words there that buzzwords that we know, oh yeah, that's a virtue, having self-confidence. Now, what do we mean by self-confidence? Well, you know, like it manifests itself, tell me if there's a correlation here. You're preparing for a competition, maybe it's the day of the competition, but this feeling you have is kind of building up, and it's time to go out and compete very soon, and you're nervous. And is that, like, if your self-confidence was higher, would you be less nervous? I'm saying probably. So I'm thinking self-confidence is quite good. Now, self-confidence can redline. I don't believe, and check me in the comments if you have another opinion, but I don't think self-confidence is something that we want to strive for some maximization of. I think self-confidence is a matter of finding a balance between too much, you know, humility and self-denial and shyness on the one hand, and too much conceit and arrogance on the other. So we want to find that happy median with our self-confidence. We want to be able to go out and perform well, which requires I believe through my vast experience, it really helps if you have self-confidence. And so how can we get self-confidence is a matter that I think is of critical importance. And that's why I'm delving into it right now. And probably if I had more self-confidence, I wouldn't be chattering off in different directions right now. I would be getting to the point, but I've already made a few important insights into the issue. And when I use this metaphor of your mental self-confidence, as if your self-confidence is not so high, you're diffident. Look up this word diffident. It's different than the word different. It's diffident. If you're diffident, that means kind of that you don't have a lot of self-confidence. You're not too sure about whether you can pull off what you want to try to achieve. So yeah, this metaphor that I used about a body position, this is also a sign of self-confidence. Am I right? What your posture is. So right now I'm trying to achieve, as I sit before you, I'm trying to achieve my very best. I'm double tasking actually, or maybe multitasking, whatever. At least double tasking. I'm trying to get my posture to be ideal for you, so that I'm a thing of beauty. Or at least moving in that direction as much as I can. I'm at least trying to make the most of what I have by sitting with what I consider to be ideal posture. And ideal posture is, okay, not too humble and not too arrogant, so finding that balance, looking straight ahead into the eyes. And are you coming from, like, you can look into somebody's eyes this way or this way, but you want to look maybe right out of the middle of your eyes at somebody else at your level, and maybe if you've got an audience that goes up a little higher, maybe you raise your focus a little bit to, you know, or move it around. That tilt, we don't want to be too much this way as we go around in our lives, and we don't want to be the opposite either, you know. And so also the shoulders now, of course, I've already showed this. We don't want to be too far forward or too far backward. We want to find that it's a fairly wide, I think, happy medium between the two. Sitting there, this would be too much arch in the upper back, and this would be rounded shoulders the other way. Nice exercise to do, by the way, stretching and rounding those shoulders as much as possible, just as an exercise, but just as good posture, which of course is very important directly important for us as figure skaters, because we do want to look beautiful when we skate, and part of our beauty is not just our skating dress or how we did our hair or polished our skates or maybe did some kind of beautiful spiral or quadruple jump that's nicely flowed and landing and very impressive and wow. We also can look beautiful through our posture, and then there's indirectly, if your posture is good, you then start to be able to have better biomechanics and do things better. So good posture is a matter not only of aesthetics but also of function. So yeah, so we try to achieve good posture. We try to identify what our postural weaknesses or deficits or problems are. There's some postural problems that we can fix through, you know, just mentally thinking about being in a better postural position. And there's other methods of correcting and improving our posture. And we want to seek those out for everybody. Not just for figure skaters, for everybody. Doesn't matter, you just look so much more presentable, and people are going to help bestow self-confidence on you, because they're going to look at you and give you a second look and gravitate towards you if you carry yourself nicely. I don't have a doctorate degree in this, in giving you this particular opinion, but it's sort of a common sense thing, isn't it? So you want to try to, you know, when I'm walking or standing, a lot of the time, like sometimes I just relax and don't think about it. You know, we do spend too much time on our devices, and that helps bring our head forward, which is not such a good thing. I mean, yeah, we want to have that type of mobility, but we don't want to be sort of like chronically in some kind of position like this. So most of us, just as a tip for most of us, we can bring our heads back. And bringing the head back doesn't mean tilting it back. It means bringing it back kind of like straight back type of idea. Not too far. There's a happy medium in there somewhere. Find it. And if you put your back against a wall, or if you're driving and put your head against the headrest, maybe that's better posture than what you already catch yourself having. Standing around, walking, driving, whatever. Okay, so that's part of the self-confidence game, and this is something you can do. It is kind of like a switch you can turn on. Oh, posture. Oh yeah, I'm thinking about my posture. You can, within a few seconds, you can have very nice posture if you understand what good posture is, and if you have the you know, the awareness and the proprioception or whatever it takes to get yourself in a good postural position. This alone can help bolster your self-confidence. Now, what do you think about your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, what you expect out of yourself, as far as a lot of people set goals, and many people are very successful setting goals too. I don't happen to be a goal setter, and I don't criticize those who are goal setters, and certainly because many people motivate themselves that way. I just try to make steady advance and progress, no matter what the circumstances are. You know, I just have a sense of what the priority skating well is in my life, and it's pretty high, because this is where I get a lot of my self-confidence from, is going into an ice rink and looking like you know, a really big man in the ice rink, because I can get around the ice rink pretty good on my feet and with skills. People tend to notice me at an ice rink, and people, I can feel the admiration and the respect. It can have the effect of making the head a little too big and heavy. So you got to be careful when you get too much admiration, and you got to worry about the sacred monster phenomenon too when it comes to self-confidence. This is sort of a related matter to self-confidence. You know, if we have a red line of self-confidence, and it zooms up into the conceit or the arrogance zone, or the solipsism zone. No, that's something different. But you know, if you become too much of an egotist, you're redlining on your self-confidence. Well, you're not gonna be in a good frame of mind to learn. You're not going to be in a good frame of mind when you have excessive self-confidence and you go blustering around and you think you're all that. You're not going to have the potential to learn, either from yourself or from others. You're just not going to be, you're going to think of yourself, maybe if you think of yourself kind of as godly or as some special person, apart from what you have done to achieve where you're at, then that can be a little bit of a problem. That can be too much self-confidence, and so getting in the way of your ability to learn. So yeah, we want to have pretty maximum self-confidence though, and it's going to help get rid of the jitters if we have a, but we can't, there's no switch for it. So we've got to practice it. We've got to think about it. We've got to practice it. And actually, you don't even need to think about it or practice it. You just need to get good at what you're doing and set realistic expectations, and you will have self-confidence. Simple as that, I believe. Yeah, I think this is a big thing about knowing yourself. You have to set realistic expectations. And if you don't have that ability to set realistic expectations, you might have a really bad failure and get some stark wake-up call. But when you can bring your expectations in line with what still helps you progress optimally, because we want to set our sights in the direction of progress, but we don't want to think that we're better than what we are and have some expectation that's going to get dashed, because that's going to break our self-confidence. Failure, okay, it's good for you and learning from your mistakes and blah blah blah, but it does give you a jolt to your self-confidence when you have a failure, and you can reduce the severity of your failures by building a strong foundation, building your skills gradually, so you don't have fears, so it's safe what you're doing, and so you don't get frustrated trying to take a particular leap when you're just learned how to crawl and you can't even run yet. that leap is not going to turn out well. So learning things sequentially and gradually, I think, is quite important. Coaches, parents, skaters, business people, blah, 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 for building your self-confidence. Improve in increments. Be satisfied with improvement in increments. And be satisfied with what you're achieving through your efforts. So positive thinking. Positive thinking can help with your self-confidence, right? But what do we mean by positive thinking? I don't know what you consider to be positive thinking, but here's an example of positive thinking the way I would describe it and the way I would use it in a very beneficial way. I came to the ice rink, I laced up, I warmed up, I went out and practiced for 45 minutes, I tried to get better at this and that, and I wanted to do this and that, and I fell a lot, actually. I hurt myself, and okay, the session's over. This is not thinking positively, okay, you want to take your endeavor seriously so that it does affect you if you don't have success, but thinking positively would be being able to consider the things that you did, that you made progress on, whether it's an insight, something that you achieved, I had trouble with my triple flip today, I couldn't land it, no matter what I did, and it started getting painful, and blah blah blah, and I was so embarrassed, and blah 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 blah. But don't you remember that you did a really beautiful camel spin, like you skated into it with really good speed, with nice control, and you hit that camel spin, you centered it immediately when you first got into the spin. Don't you remember doing that? And it's the best spin I've seen you do, frankly, honestly. And don't you remember that? Isn't your thinking positively about remembering those sorts of things? I mean, it's not like we want to ignore the problems we had and try to find solutions for them, but you want to congratulate yourself for something, even if it's just for showing up after difficult circumstances to try to get to the ice rink or the driving range or whatever it was, the yoga studio, the office. I think it is just a matter of spending time to build confidence. It is related to time, and it's not just directly related to time, because it's how you use your brain in that time that's really the important thing. For building skills like sports skills, like in figure skating, for building the ability to do some difficult jumps and spins and have the stamina to put it all together and be musical in a performance and present to people who are watching, and bringing all of that together, that's pretty difficult. You know, that's a challenge, and you can really make it as challenging as you want to. But yeah, building the confidence is just a matter of time and thinking well in that time. So you, by me saying you can't flick a switch of self-confidence, that's partly what it is. It's an investment. It's something that you have to nurture, and it's something that you have to understand is it's maybe more a result. It's not something that you directly can build. It's just the result of good practice. It's a result of practicing well, keeping yourself in good shape, thinking logically and clearly, remembering from one day to the next what direction you're moving in, what your problems are you want to address, you know, and many of these other kind of thoughts that we want to have to achieve something at a high level. We've got to have the confidence, the self-confidence to be able to think clearly and not be frantic or too emotional or, you know, in a panicky state or glassed over. We want to have presence of mind to be able to function and achieve things, and if we do, then we build self-confidence. Coming closer to the truth, analyzing cause and effect, and really understanding your sport well and being able to troubleshoot well as you're practicing, that's something that's going to build your self-confidence, because by building your technique and therefore your consistency, you build your self-confidence, obviously, right? If you typically go out and do 9 out of 10 of your triple sow cows, you're going to be quite confident about it, right? You're going to be able to skate right into it and without any fear, and it's going to get better. And self-confidence feeds on itself, doesn't it? Because if you have the self-confidence to do things well, then doing those things well helps build your self-confidence. It's a cycle, right? And yeah, I don't know if there's anything else that I really need to say about self-confidence. I've already presented many ideas, and I felt I kept the flow going. Yeah, I stuttered a few times, like I did just there, and I forgot about my posture a few times. But overall, I thought I delivered, you know, some useful information. I collected my thoughts, and I spoke not too badly, in my opinion. When I look at the video later, I'll have to be a better judge of that. So the diffidence, the lack of self-confidence that I had, that made me procrastinate in doing this video, was kind of like, I don't know, maybe I needed all that time, or maybe I needed to get over it. But I'm kind of glad that I got the equipment out and pushed the button and shared these thoughts with you, because it's important for all of us to have self-confidence and to achieve whatever we want to do. It's self-esteem, self-confidence. It's a human need. It's part of your human makeup. It's, you know, having a sense of self and being aware and using the gifts that you have to be able to do things and help to make your life and society at large a better place. Bye for now.